Hello, my name is Brenna Lewis, and I'm really sorry if this ends up being awkward at all or doesn't flow as well as it should. I'm just really nervous in front of the camera. But I'm going to be talking about the dehumanization of immigrants and more so how we separate us from them and claim them as the other, and how that builds a separation and puts barriers between us and them. So two major ways that we do it is through language and actions. Language, there's three terms that really stick out to me when it comes to how we see immigrants. And those terms are alien, illegal, and wetback, which is a derogatory term. Alien, the way that we use it and the way that we think of alien, it's like Area 51. They are creatures that aren't human, that came here and are living here, and they're weird. Like, you never expect aliens to be something normal. And so, I mean, that's my thought process when it comes to aliens, but it's that alien is not human, and that's how we are. When we use that term, it's kind of how we're seeing immigrants. They're not human, they're not us, and that's that us versus them kind of mentality. And when it comes to being the other, it's us setting those boundaries to show that there's differences. Like, we are U.S. citizens and they are not U.S. citizens. They are the other. They are inferior. They are not on the same level as us, and they don't deserve equal rights as us. And that's that dehumanization factor in all of this. And I mean, it's like when we use those derogatory terms as like wetback, it's showing that we don't care about them. It's being disrespectful. It's showing that they aren't as important as us, and they don't deserve to be treated like us, like citizens. And then finally, the term illegal, which is one of the ones that gets me the most, because people call immigrants illegal. They're illegals. There's illegals coming into the country, when in reality, they're just immigrants, and they might be coming here illegally according to our government and our laws, but they themselves are not illegal because they are human beings. Human beings cannot be illegal, but their actions are illegal. And that's one of the things, is when you classify a human being as illegal, you're not going to see them as a human being. You're seeing them as just wrong. You're seeing them as wrong, if that makes any sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's definitely a separation between being illegal and actions being illegal. And then finally, or not finally, but to continue on, actions are another way that we dehumanize these immigrants. We are disrespectful towards immigrants, and in that way, there's a lot of hate crimes. Just recently in El Paso, there was a shooting that killed, I believe, 24 people. At least 20 people, and the shooter had a manifesto that was telling people that he was targeting Hispanics because of the Hispanic invasion in Texas. And it's, again, that separation of us versus them. It's really pulling into view, like, that we can't respect people's lives because they're not U.S. citizens, and showing that their different culture and their different look makes them other. And especially, like, I mean, you go to, if we think back to the beginning of this course and how we read about the law in in Arizona, that you could basically racial profile. And just because someone is Latino doesn't mean, like, maybe from Mexico, that doesn't mean that they're an illegal immigrant, that they're here undocumented. Like, there's many people who are born and raised and still look like they could have been born in Mexico. And we can't tell that, but we put these words out, and when we're using them, we're obviously targeting a certain group of people. We're targeting anyone of Latin descent, Hispanics. And that is building that mindset that they're other than us, they're different than us, and we have to treat them differently, which encourages hate crimes. And then I finally want to talk about deportation and the detention centers that these people are being put into, the separation of families, and how if that was normal US citizens, that would never be tolerated, because kids should be with their parents. It's a human right. It's unless the kids are in danger, they should always be with their parents. Like, I think that's most people's mindsets. But when it comes to immigrants, we seem to look over the fact that kids are being taken away from their parents, and the fact that 7 kids have already died this year in detention facilities. Not to mention that there's poor conditions and they don't get the health care that they deserve as human beings. And we give more health care to people who have murdered others and give them more rights and treat them more human than people who come here looking for a better life, looking for better jobs to support their families, or looking to get away from criminal activity in their countries. And here we are basically saying that their lives don't matter as much as a murderer's or a serial killer's. And just overall, we dehumanize and we classify immigrants as the other. We build these barriers that you can't see, and it's to build us up, build up US citizens, and continue to make them inferior. And that the use of language and actions towards them is how we how we make them inferior, how we treat them poorly. It's the dehumanization leads to this mistreatment because we don't see them as anything other than aliens, as illegal. That's how we see them, and that's how we treat them. And it's not acceptable, and things need to change. Thank you.